What's up, everyone? We are back on another episode of Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
A Shadowline production.
Crazy night of fights last night. UFC 315 went down, and we have a new champion, Henry.
Well, you sound like you're disappointed, Kamaru. I mean, and before I get there, Kamaru, your birthday is today, man. So I just want to say a big happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, the Nigerian Nightmare. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
That being said, I mean, was your birthday, were you delighted? Was that the best present somebody could ever give you? Remember the name without losing, Kush? I feel like I see you grinning from ear to ear right now, but you don't seem to you don't seem like the Nigerian Nightmare that I know. I don't know what's going on.
Listen,
maybe it's the age.
No, listen. It's people get so invested in this game to where they think that I'm supposed to be happy because he lost. Why would I be happy because he lost? I hadn't fought him yet. You know, it wasn't that. Yes, me and him weren't on we weren't the best of friends. I'll tell you that for sure. But that doesn't mean I'm happy that he lost. And as a former champion, as a former pound for pound top dog, as far as not just with the rankings, but also as far as selling pay-per-views, I understand what this game is. And listen, as much as we didn't like each other, it was still something that people wanted to see. It was something that was on the cusp of potentially happening. So no, I'm not excited that he lost. I'm not disappointed. I'm indifferent. Absolutely, especially when a champion loses. I'm not excited about that because it's difficult to, after you lose, it's difficult to get back. It's difficult to work so hard to get in there, step in there, and try to accomplish something and fall short. It's very difficult. So I'm not going to prey on anyone's downfall in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So no, absolutely not excited that he lost. But on the flip side, I will say, it was a way that I was looking at this fight. I was looking at the matchup and what was happening leading up to the matchup and what was being said before, to where I'm like, why are you not paying too much attention to this guy? It was almost dismissive. It was almost like, yeah, I ain't even going to take him down. I'm a Canelo hands. I'm going to put this on him. I'm about to do this and do that, to where I'm like, this kid's not bad. This dude ain't no joke. This dude is good. I see something in his spirit when he fights, to where I'm like, this guy could be a problem. And, and he went out there and from start to finish, I thought looked like a freaking insane. He looked like the defending champion. You know what I mean? He looked like the defending champion.
You're talking about Jack Della Maddalena?
JDM. Yes, JDM.
But can you believe the fact that this is where the UFC and this is where the UFC is different, bro? Like, this dude he was probably like maybe three fights away from fighting for the belt, and he gets the opportunity. Dana White and the UFC to get an opportunity. Now he's UFC champ. We're just talking about him being just a prospect, a potential contender, and all of a sudden he is champion. Me, Kamaru, watching this fight, it is going to be a little bit of humble pie for Della Muhammad, because he was talking about, you're going to see my hands like Canelo. I'm not going to shoot a takedown. I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. And that shit turned around. That's ego, bro. That should turn around and bit him in the ass. Or should I say bit him in the arse? And I truly do that. I truly do like Della Muhammad, but man, it's not good when people start kind of giving the game plan, and if they're really going to stick to it. I mean, there is no takedown attempts in the first half of the fight. Like, nothing Like, I wonder what Bilal was thinking. There was no kick into the legs. Like, they're in kick range, and neither one of them was actually kicking. I thought JDM did a really good job switching to southpaw, peppering that jab, mixing high-low to the body to where he was able to catch Bilal Muhammad, really confuse him of just the striking department and just mixing it and just level changing all through that. Now, that's something that you did very, very well, Kamaru, but I felt like you kind of came out of it. And I feel like if you can bring that back, kind of like, remember, and I've always told you this, but even when you and Israel Adesanya were like playing around and whatnot, dude, look at how your fake was able to make this dude sprawl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're able to mess with somebody's nervous system, but as of right now, man, Bilal was just flat, and obviously JDM was just on, man, from his head movement to his jab, from his switching stance, and from the high-low position, from really mixing his fighting, and he was able to get it. I had Bilal, maybe Kamaru, win the fourth. That's it. That's the only round that I would say, okay, man, this round is Bilal. The fight wasn't close, man. I thought the first judge had it right, 49-46. Am I wrong?
I agree.
Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right in that sense. To where, yeah, I don't think I think from the opening bell, JDM stepped on him and just did not let go, and Bilal tried to do a good job of. He showed a little bit of championship spirit in the beginning, of not letting some of the stuff that JDM was throwing at him, and not letting him bother him, because he showed a little bit that, oh, I've been here before. It's okay. Eventually, this guy is going to fade, or this guy is going to do something out of character, and I'm going to take a switch momentum, and I'm going to capitalize. But no, because I feel like he didn't go to what he was used to going to. Like I've said before, Bilal's good everywhere. There's not really an area to where I'm like, oh man, that he's really great at that. He's good everywhere. But it was just, I felt like it was, I don't want to say it was an arrogance. I don't want to say that at all. But it was almost like, just kind of smirk off, just shrug it off. Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. I'll get him. Next thing you know, it's round 2. Next thing you know, it's round 3. This guy's not stopping. He's not slowing down. Next thing you know, it's round 4. Then it's like, oh my, I really got to try to do something now. To where he wasn't really level changing. He wasn't really trying. He looked behind. He looked slower because JDM was just mixing it up so well, switching to orthodox, switching to southpaw, attacking the body, jabbing the body, mix, and just pop shotting. Like sometimes he would just kind of sit and just push it out. Boom. Like I said, he's very, very good at controlling his tempo, controlling his pace.
Composure.
Bilal hit him with some good shots. And he didn't even move. Nothing changed. He just kind of slipped it. He stayed in. Man, it was a complete performance. He looked like the defending champion. And I want to take anything away from Bilal. Bilal stood in there. He tried to potentially switch the momentum, but I just thought it was a wrong game plan, because I think he just wanted this. He just stood with the guy. Yeah. And then by the time he eventually decided to start changing levels, this guy's confidence is already up so high. And he's feeling so good to where it didn't do anything. You didn't fake it. He scrambled through and got back up to his feet and continued doing work. Yeah. I thought it was a beautiful performance by JDM. Yeah. It's a tough one.
What was your take on like JDM looked really good, man? I think his composure right now was.
I've always said that
his composure was the dude's really good, but I think there's too many talented people that kick and that are truly going to bring their at least kick in the kicking department or the mixing. Bilal did not mix it. And my question is, do you think Bilal is overtraining Kamaru? Like, sometimes when people think, oh, I gotta get better, because he did look a lot slower than usual, and you know what I'm saying? Like, overtraining, bro, will cook you, man. Will take a lot of that explosiveness, speed from you, and that's one thing to maybe consider, man.
I can't say that. We can't say overtraining because no one's in his camp, and not to mention, listen, both of these guys, we're forgetting both of these guys were out for quite some time because of a staph infection. JDM hadn't fought in over a year because he was out for a staph infection. and Bilal was out for some time because of that of staph infection. So both of them had some time. I don't want to say overtraining. I just think it's sometimes,
could that
man,
be a
you step in there.
possibility? I'm not saying he's overtraining, but could that be a possibility, man?
No,
So
because
he was
I'm
just
sure
so JDM just is better.
I think if you look at the way that style is fought, look at the way the fight was fought. Bilal swung at air a lot. And we know, even in boxing, we know when you're missing punches like that and they're tagging you, they're pop shotting you in between, that zaps you. That drains that gas tank very, very, very fast. And so I just thought it was a beautiful, beautiful, complete performance by JDM. Taking nothing away from Bilal. Do I think Bilal has the capabilities to be able to beat a JDM? I do think so.
Okay. Well,
but it was wrong way to implement it last night.
Yeah, well, Kamaru, I mean, there's a lot of 170 pounds. There's a lot of different scenarios. I mean, could Ian? Obviously, right now, what the next fight that's going to take place is going to be Islam versus JDM. That's going to be the fight that's going to be made. But where does that put the rest of you welterweights at 170 pounds? I mean, we got the Ian Gary was the backup for this fight. You know what I'm saying? So I let you know kind of where the UFC's probably trying to head. Obviously, we have Shavkat, who already had the fight. We have Brady, who's a number one. Is Brady the number one contender? Is Sean Brady who's the number one contender?
Listen, that's what you want. You know, I sat for some time for this exact reason, to potentially let these guys, let new blood come into the division and let things kind of sort itself out and shuffle around. And now we've got exciting new prospects and new contenders. You've got, Buckley, Joaquin Buckley. You've got Sean Brady. You've got JDM, the new champion. You've got Ian Gary. You've got Morales that's about to fight Gilbert Burns. You've got Carlos Prates.
But
there's guys.
You're forgetting somebody.
Shavkat Rakhmonov.
What about the Nigerian Nightmare dude? What's up?
Of course, but that's what I'm saying is this is what I wanted, because being at the top of the division for so long, it was almost like I'd been through the guys right below me and I was coming around going through them again. And now, after sitting out for a while, there's all these new guys here. There's all these new bloods, new exciting matchups. And I think, yes, with Islam potentially coming up into the division now, it throws a wrench into things because, for one, I don't know. I don't think, let's not take anything away from JDM. Like I've already said that. Like, everybody, let's stop sleeping on JDM. This guy is good. So let's stop just thinking, oh, Islam's coming in and Islam's going to take his title and Islam's the new champion. Let's stop thinking that. I think it's an intriguing fight. I think it's a really, really good fight, and it's a tough matchup for both guys. Now, with Islam coming in, that throws a wrench into where I'm at, because Buckley and I go out there and we put on an impressive performance. Hey, we're next.
Yeah,
I'm next. If I go out there and I put on an impressive performance against Buckley, I'm next in that.
But can I tell you something, Kamaru? This is where the wrench is being thrown in. You're boys with Islam, and honestly, I favor Islam in this fight with JDM. Islam defeats JDM. You beat Joaquin Buckley. Oh, I can already see you. Just getting uncomfortable there, Kush. Are we gonna see a potential matchup with the Nigerian Nightmare and Islam Makhachev?
Whoa! It's one of those things that it's one of those things that we'd have to talk about. Obviously, that's a blockbuster fight. Former pound for pound and the current pound for pound champion. And that's something we'd have to talk about, because Islam, I love those guys. Islam, Habib, I love them all. Unlike the situation with Bilal, which, listen, I know me and Bilal had our differences here and there. I never wish bad on anybody, even though I didn't necessarily care for the guy. But it's a little different situation with Islam. But Henry, like we remember having a sit down with Mike Tyson. If some of you hadn't seen that episode, you can go back, look in our catalog, and go back and watch that episode with Mike Tyson. Remember what Mike Tyson said, Henry?
Yeah, he said we
Exactly.
asked him about Roy Jones, and I'm like, yeah, he's my friend. Like, why wouldn't you want to make money with your friend? You know what I'm saying? He checked you too, Kush. We got to go back. I remember him checking us. Actually, he checked you, but he checked you, but he checked both of us pretty much. And yeah,
Okay, doesn't matter who he checked. It's
no. Actually, I take
he
that back.
said it
He
right.
checked you.
Friends make friends rich.
Yeah.
And hey, if that's the situation, then obviously, I think Islam and I are mature enough to have a conversation about
Okay,
that.
so what I'm saying, Kamaru, is you'll be open to it when the time comes.
I don't see why not.
Woo!
I don't see why not. But listen, like I said,
that fight right there, Kamaru. Can I tell you something?
We'd have a conversation about it.
That fight right there, because your wrestling is you know what I'm saying. Like your wrestling's probably better than Islam's, and you're bigger, and you throw hands really good.
I don't know if I'm bigger. Listen, Islam is no small dude. Listen, Islam is not small. Islam will fill out nicely in the welterweight division.
No, and I guess we'll cross that road when we get there. But it's just things to think about. So what does that leave Bilal and the rest of the division at 170 pounds? If you're Dana White, if you're the matchmaker, what are you gonna do with Ian Gary? What are you gonna do with Sean Brady? What are you gonna do with Shavkat, who was a guy that was originally supposed to fight, but apparently he's been injured, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dana's always given people shots who have been injured, man. So will that?
I think
somebody's got to fight, dude. I think there's got to be a couple fights for everybody. There's got to be a tournament format, if you're asking me, because there's just too many people that are right there, like literally to get in there to get in for the bout at 170 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of matchups for Bilal. Like, he hadn't fought Shavkat, and that was supposed to happen. He hadn't fought Ian Gary.
So what do you do? So what do you do?
Something.
So are you putting Bilal against Shavkat? And are you doing Brady versus Gary? Are you doing, obviously you're already fighting Joaquin Buckley, which in my opinion, he's the most dangerous dude out of all of these dudes because of his explosive power.
Right. I think, yeah, there's those are exciting matchups. I think either one you can give. I think even though they were kind of like, you saw the videos, it was Ian and Bilal being kind of friendly during the week. Yeah, I think that's a matchup. You could also do also do Shavkat versus Bilal, but who knows? Bilal might want to take some time. I mean, he took a lot of shots in that fight.
Yeah,
like Henry, took a lot of shots.
I mean, look at this picture real quick. Look at what happened. Dude, he didn't have a cliff lip, bro. Like, after that,
yeah, he took a lot. I mean, these are bumps, these are bruises. That's not
a bump nor a bruise, bro. That's like sliced,
bro. Clearly, we see that, but that's gonna heal, and Bilal's gonna be fine, and Bilal's gonna potentially come back. I think it's depending on how long he wants to take off, because like I said, he took a lot of shots. He did, and if he takes the time, but there's exciting matchups. You've got Gary with Bilal. You got Shavkat with Bilal. He's already beat up Sean Brady. So you've got maybe Prates if he gets back up there. You've got potentially he hadn't fought Buckley yet. After I get past Buckley, that's a potential of them fighting. There's fights here.
Yeah, dude, we're also forgetting Leon Edwards, dude. Fucking dude, 170 pounds.
Leon, I think Leon's gonna take some time, because I don't know, where does Leon go from where he's at? Who do you match him up with?
Prates.
Sean Brady beat him. Who?
Probably Prates, dude.
Ooh, I like that one. Or why not Ian Gary?
I like that.
And that's it. That's another good one. So there's a lot of matchups here, but it's interesting. Islam coming up in the division throws a wrench in a lot in things because now it's how long do I have to sit and wait? And listen, like I said, I don't wish bad on anybody. It's sad because obviously for a guy like Bilal, even though he was a troll, and even though as much as distasteful as I thought all the antics and all the crap that he was doing he was representing something and fighting for something that I thought was meaningful, and that I think majority of the world was getting behind. And so it's of course it's always sad when a champion loses because it's almost like undercover what everyone's waiting for. Henry, everyone's waiting to really kind of see that fall. Everyone's waiting to say, see, I told you, you're not special. You're not that good. Look at you now, And so, yeah, I know how it feels. And so we both know how it feels. And
it sucks, dude. That's like
it's not great, but, hopefully he'll bounce back and get back on the horse. And listen, it's not done, So maybe there is a future for him and I, but I mean, I'm not chasing that fight because what I was chasing was the title.
I already saw that fight. I can't wait till I see Bilal Usman.
Stop, Henry. Stop.
Dude, come on, dude. That's the second fight.
I'm sure, but there's a lot of tweets going on here. I believe was it Tricks Duplessis? I believe he tweeted about it. And on Duplessis said,
well done. Well done. Just kidding. But you gotta get DDP on, bro.
We do need to get him on, but you gotta expect like things like this are gonna happen because of I feel like the way that Bilal kind of trolled everyone. Because the way that Bilal talks about, because I do remember Bilal probably threw shots at DDP and said, "Oh, he sucks. He looks bad. I can be a 2-division champion. I'm going up and I'm challenging him." So yeah, you can expect obviously a guy like DDP to say something like this in there. So I mean, not a big surprise. It's funny, but not a big surprise, And then we also saw, of course, Islam tweeted about, said keep my belt warm or something like that, or keep it shiny, keep it nice for me. And JDM, I mean, it was kind of like the perfect comeback. He was just like, yeah, come get it.
Yeah, keep my belt clean. Okay, so the shit talking has begun, dude. But anyway, bro, hey, there's been a lot of, dude, did you see Joaquin Buckley, Joaquin he's trying to, you want to have, since you've been so, I thought you were going to go in on Bilal, but you taking the high road. But that being said, are you willing to have Joaquin Buckley on the pod, bro? He commented, he tagged you on one of our posts. He's like, get me on the show at Usman 84 kg.
Oh. I mean, I think as our fight approaches, I think why not?
Really?
Get him on the show and see what he has to say. Yeah, of course. We get him on the show and see what he has to say.
All right.
Joaquin is a guy that's going to say his piece. There's no shortage of that. He's going to say his piece. And let's see what he has to say before the matchup. Okay. Of course. Yeah, I mean, it was a good fight, Henry. And real quick, I want to talk about this because she's kind of in a weird place as well. Is what is next for Valentina Shevchenko? I mean, she went out there, she got the job done against Manon, and great adjustment. We saw a really good counter fighter here. And she did a great job in counterfighting Manon and just kind of stifled her. But you tweeted something, Henry, earlier after the fight. Do you remember what you tweeted?
Was it me or was it Dilly?
Oh, anywho, you tweeted something about Zhang Weili.
You have to.
You said
you have to.
And you say you have to. But where does that put Natalia Silva? I mean, this female has earned it.
Yeah, I think Natalia Silva just needs to. I think she just needs to just wait. Like that's it. I think they're gonna. Valentina likes to be active, so I feel like I think she just waits, and then gets the winner of Weili and Valentina. I think that's how you do it. But what if it's a really good fight and it's super close? And Natalia, how old is Natalia?
28.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh.
And she's on I believe 28, and she's on I believe 7 or 8 fight win streak, or probably maybe more. Like, hasn't lost since she lost to Marina Rodriguez. Oh, she's been tearing through some people. Look at her, and look at the
unanimous decision. That's her last.
There, and look at the names. She beat Jasmine Jasudavicius, who also had a phenomenal performance against Jessica Andrade. I mean, she came straight through, took her down, choked her, and was done. Beat Andrea Lee, beat Viviana Araujo, beat Jessica Andrade. I mean, and Alexa Grasso, now the former champion. I think she's definitely earned her shot at that belt.
Damn.
So
she has a style to beat any of these girls, man. Her striking, her movement, up kicks. She brings that Taekwondo style, but with thump. Like, it's not just a flick, it's not just a slap, like it's a thump. It's impressive, man. I'm excited to see what she has, and I could see her. I could see her as a future champ in the future.
I agree with you, Henry. Now, one thing I want to pick with you is when I be doing these breakdowns, Henry, I be feeling like sometimes you don't even be studying, bro. I feel like sometimes you just be talking, bro. And sometimes they be getting me tight, because it's like with Jose Aldo, this fight, y'all was just talking reckless. Y'all was Jose Ball, whatever you call him. Jose is going to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, listen, I love Jose Aldo. I know what he's still capable of, but let's not sleep on Ayman Zahabi here. Let's not sleep on the wealth of knowledge that this man has access to. You're talking about the brother of Firas Zahabi. You're talking about the understudy of GSP. Come on. I told you, don't sleep on this man. Yes, I know. Excuse me. Yes, I know he's not the biggest name and hasn't had those breakout performances to where everyone is, yeah, this and that. But don't sleep on this man. I told you, don't underestimate him. This would be my upset. And he did it.
Yeah. No,
he went out there and he looked phenomenal. I mean, and he has that style too, to where it's like, you never know what's coming. He's just sitting here in this shell, jab.
Yeah.
Jab. You throw at him, he's moving. And it was just phenomenal performance. Yeah. He was close to getting that finish. Unfortunately, he didn't, but what a phenomenal performance. And this was my fight of the night right here.
Yeah.
100%. This was my fight of the night.
Yeah, you can't deny the dude. I mean, I think, some people tend to peak a little bit later than that, and he could be on that trajectory where people just peak a little later in their career, dude. Like, there's a lot of good wrestlers that maybe never became state champs in high school, and then all of a sudden they're winning the NCAA. So this stuff happens. Congratulations to him. But I mean, that was to me, dude. It's 170 pounds is open, and 155 pounds is open, and even 45. It's impressive on how, when one man does a certain thing, how it can open up just a lot of divisions, man. Right now, the 3 weight classes that are open, anybody's up for grabs that could fight for a title is 70, 55, and 45.
I agree with you, Henry. I agree. And before we even get there, like, real quick, like, let's just talk about, I was perfect here in this, like, in picking these fights. I was perfect here, bro. I told you what could happen here, and it happened, Henry. I just wanted to put that out there in case, let's not just glance over that like, I ain't do nothing. I studied, bro. But moving on, in other news, Henry Triple C Cejudo, we still have some drama in that light heavyweight division.
Yeah,
we got drama.
Live versus Pereira rematch was reportedly been offered for International Fight Week via Magomed Ankalaev. So that's probably why. So that's probably why that tweet took place. And I know DC talked about it. I think Pereira felt like they were really. I feel like Pereira thought that he was being rushed. And Pereira likes to travel, bro. He likes to party, man. He likes to do his thing, man. So I don't think he was ready. So I probably have to agree with DC on his take on what he said, man. But I'm sure somebody put some common sense to him that, hey, you can't say that. And then he was able to come up with that, because that's the only thing that I could think of too. Because it's not like it was vicious what he said on this tweet, but I felt like you could tell there was like some anger being involved. Like, I've done a lot for the UFC and this and that, and obviously the whole hacking thing came about. You know what I'm saying? But Pereira's not ready, bro.
You know, Henry, you've tweeted a thing or two in the heat of the moment to where you wish you could potentially take back Henry. We've been there.
Oh, for sure.
We've all been
for
there.
sure. But yeah, I'll just delete it and not bring it up. But he's talking about
what? You'll just delete it. Listen, it's Twitter. You know you can't just delete it. The moment it goes out there, bloop, everybody screenshotted it already. They're reposting it. Ain't no deleted and no one else remembers what you wrote. They got a screenshot. That's the crazy thing. They got a screenshot the moment you post it. People are screenshotting it. That's what's crazy. It is what it is. You know, he was probably the heat of the moment. He felt how he felt based on what was happening or what was not happening. And so, hey, we can't fault him for that. You know, we're entitled to feel how we want to feel. But also at the same time, you have to understand the UFC is a business. They have to move on. They're going to move on. They're never sitting here going, oh, yeah, the business can't move on because you don't want to do this or this and this. And right now, they're going to move on. I felt like this countless times. I have, you know.
Yeah, so. But for everything that he's done for the UFC, the last minute replacements, that's how it is, though, Kamaru. Like this is the reality of life. It's.
But Henry, real quick, we're not doing it for free. This is why we feel the way we feel. We feel like we're stepping in and doing them a favor, but it's not for free. They're going, all right, you're going to do us this favor. All right, here you go. So in their eyes, they think, oh, what? You didn't do it for free. We compensated you. You know? So when we're feeling like we're on one side, we feel like, yes, we're doing you guys a favor. And on the other hand, they're like, we're compensating you. We did you a favor. You know, so it's on both sides. I understand both sides and I feel both sides. Pereira has a right to feel how he feels. And of course, the company's going to feel how they feel. So that's just the name of the game. Hopefully we can get that fight. If not International Fight Week, hopefully we'll get it probably Abu Dhabi later on this year.
Yeah. Okay. I like it, man. But either way, Kamaru, you know, happy Mother's Day to your mother who had you, to our mothers who had us, and how grateful we are to have just good parents, bro, or a good parent for me.
We are blessed. We are blessed to be able to, we're blessed. One, we're here. We're able to sit here and have a conversation. That means we came from somewhere, you know. We came from great moms and great dads. And so, you know, we just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Yeah. And dads, we didn't forget about y'all. We're going to keep the same energy when it is Father's Day.
Yeah.
So we're not biased on this we're not biased here.
Yeah.
You know, we're equal opportunity. But Henry, before we slide, bruh, you was doing something last night or yesterday. What happened? What was going on?
Let me tell you, man, your boy, Colby Covington was trying to get a piece of the Triple C last night, bro. We're at both at Celebrity Poker. He's actually not a bad player.
I hear he's actually pretty good gambler, whether it's poker or whether I don't know what he plays, but I hear he's actually pretty good because I've heard about him in casinos.
Yeah, you can play it from right there, dude. Check this out.
Oh, you got a video.
That was no prize, motherfucker.
Oh, look. That's what I'm telling him. I was like, Kamara got you 2 times. He made them cheeks clap 2 times.
Double check.
Pause. Flag on the play. Whoa. Hey, why you look lit though? You look lit.
Honestly, look, and then I was there with so he started calling me short, and I was over here, with the short kings, dude. I'm like,
he called you short, so you brought someone shorter.
That's one of his best friends.
And so you brought someone shorter. What even caused this energy?
I don't know. I was talking to Dylan last night. Yeah, I had a couple of drinks. Look. Look, I'm just having fun, dude. But you know what, dude? Honestly, dude, I just had 2 drinks. But then I don't know. Maybe it was my fault, Kamara. Honestly, I was gonna try to be cool, like I really was.
I mean, because it looked like you were the one. You look like the aggressor here. It looked like you
but
was
then he
trying
asked me. But then he asked me if I've been to the White House. But he kind of asked me in the central, like you know what I'm saying? Like he was like, did
like to
you
shit
get
on
about?
you.
Yeah, like fuck you. I'm like, do you have an Olympic gold medal? Do you actually have a bout? The King of Miami? Like I went in on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you, just a walking gimmick? That's all you are. At least I got some shit. You know, I'm not just walking. And
So
I
you
love
pretty
Trump.
much bullied.
At least I'm not
So you
just.
pretty much bullied him. Come on, Henry. That's not how we work here. We don't bully guys. You know, like that. Come on. Like, are you? Can you apologize?
Never.
Wow.
Colby Covington, you absolutely make me sick and you suck. And at this event, check this out, Kamaru Usman. Colby Covington got second place. It's something that he's accustomed to. You know, he reached all the way to the finals to get second. Makes me sick.
Henry, I didn't sign up for this. Hey, wow.
Hey, but I did throw your name in there. I was like, and that's what my boy.
I ain't got nothing to do with this.
That's what my boy. That's why he broke your face. He broke your face.
My God.
I brought it back.
Hey.
Remember when you said that?
You speaking? Yeah, I know why I said that. But Henry, you be speaking a lot of French out here, right? You speak a lot of. It's a lot of we's going on. You know. Oh, this dude hung up on us. It was we. You know. You be speaking a lot of French out here, Henry.
And Kush.
But you don't want to say something? I apologize. You know, I was a little lit. You know, it is what it is. Nothing. No.
I apologize for absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Oh wow.
I don't know. Maybe when I see him again in person, I'll squash it, dude. If I did it with Israel Adesanya, I could do it with anybody, man.
Okay, that's big of you. That's big of you.
Yeah. Like honestly, that. If he wasn't, that's maybe it's just the way that he said it. That's just like fuck you. But now that I think about it, I don't know if he was being a dick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of. So my bad. Call me my bad.
Okay, see, yeah. If you're getting these feelings, then that means you were probably because he's like based on looking at that video, his posture, it didn't look like he was in a bully posture. It looked like you were the one bullying because you were throwing it all in his face. Like it looked like you was hitting him from every angle. And then he felt.
Then we both just started talking shit to each other. And I'm just like, Kobe, what do you got, dude? I think. All right, man. Is it too late to say I'm sorry?
I don't think so. I think you should you should give him a call and definitely tell him that.
Nah, I'd say shit. Maybe when I see him, bro. Because you know what he does, even though it's a gimmick what he does. He believes in his values, bro. And a lot of stuff that he talks about, I'm with it. So.
Okay.
So I'm going to be nice, just like you, like you were a Bilal. I'm going to be nice to Kobe 2 Knuckles Covington.
All right. Well, Henry,
you know about the knuckles, right? You know about them knuckles, dude. Anyways.
Hey, great night. Well, I don't want to say great night of fights. It was good fights, really good fights. Obviously, the main event delivered. There was some good fights on that card. The Jose Aldo fight, I knew that fight was going to be a fight that was going to deliver, and it did. So shout out to those guys out there. Amen to Zahabi. Shout out to Faraz and GSP. You see GSP out there looking thick, Henry? Huh?
I saw that, dude.
He was looking thick out there. He got the hair. He looking like he's 24 again. But hey, it was a good night of fights. And hey, I know people was tweeting out like, oh, the ticket sales and this and that. It looked like those last minute tickets sold. It looked like people bought tickets and was all in there. So it looked good. Also, a lot of interesting things happening at a welterweight division, like it's always been. And that's the good thing about it is you never know when someone is going to break through and start to shine and then become that guy at the top and of that division again. So a lot of interesting things, guys. Make sure you stay tuned and you are locked in. We got some things coming up for y'all. Henry, you had a great night. It's Mother's Day. Hopefully you can sip some juice and some Pedialyte and shake back and go out there and love on your mom. All right?
Salute.
I don't even want to say what I want to say when you threw your arms up in the air right there. It was I couldn't believe what I saw in that video.
Am I too thick?
Nah, I couldn't believe he called you short, and we just gonna leave that there. What you were doing in that video. But as always, guys, make sure that you like and you subscribe and you comment. Of course, myself, I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
No disrespect. And we out.